Do you want to give your videos that film look and just make them look overall more cinematic, but you don't know how? If you answered yes, then watch this video because we're going to be talking about Dehancer. If you don't know what Dehancer is, it's a film emulation plugin with over 60 film profiles, print films, grain, halation, bloom, film damage, just to name a few. The plugin works with editing software like DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, and After Effects. Now, before we get into everything, I do want to say that Dehancer reached out to me and they offered me a 30-day trial to test out the software in exchange for an honest review. That being said, I don't have any restrictions on what I can say, so I'm going to give you guys a straight up review from my point of view of using it over the last 30 days. A little bit about me: I'm a content creator that makes content for myself, and I also do freelance work for companies and other individuals. And over the last 30 days, I've been playing around with this software just to see what it does and to get a real world test and see how I like it. Now, let me say I'm not a professional colorist. I don't know the science behind it. Any color grading that I've done at this point is just me using Demetri Color in Premiere Pro. I just wanted to put that out there because I want you to know that this is coming from somebody that's, I wouldn't say I'm a novice, but I'm far from a professional. I know the basics and I know what I like when I see it. That being said, on day one, when I first started using the plugin, I was completely overwhelmed. And you might be too. Now, thankfully, if you look at their website, they have a ton of information on how to use their products and just explanations on what things do. So I would recommend checking out their website, or you can look on YouTube and watch some tutorials as well. It's amazing what putting in time and effort does, because my first couple of projects, I was like, but now I've really learned how to dial in what I like, and I'm really impressed. When I use LUTs or do color grading using the Demetri Color, sometimes it just seems like you're just putting a fresh coat of paint on your footage. But with Dehancer, I really feel like you're actually changing your footage. Like it looks, I can't think of a better word than say cinematic, but it changes it. It gives it character. And that's one thing I've learned. When I very first started using it, I was playing around with the grain and the bloom and the halation and all these things. But as time went on, I realized that this is a really good plugin for just color grading within itself. And like I said, I use Demetri Color in Premiere Pro. I'm very limited compared to a program like DaVinci Resolve. And Dehancer is a good problem solver for that. You really can dial in your look. I'm really loving how I'm making my footage look from my Sony FX30. So while you have the option of giving it that film look, you know, adding grain and film damage and all of that stuff, you don't have to. You really can just use it as a color grading tool. And that's what I've been using it for lately. I'm really blown away with this software. It's not just for video. You also have profiles for photos. So you can use it with Photoshop, Lightroom. They also have a mobile app you can download. It's also an editor, so you can edit video and alter your photos as well. I've been using that for some of my Instagram stuff and my Instagram stories. Everything is just so easy to use. Once you get over the initial maybe confusion of when you see it, it becomes super simple. 30 days later and I'm completely comfortable using this software, whether I'm editing photos or whether I'm adding a profile to my video. I'm glad I actually took the sponsorship. I've heard of Dehancer, but I wasn't really aware completely about what it was. I'm really glad that the people at Dehancer contacted me. I'm in love with this software. I don't see myself not using it in the future. I will definitely be using it. Now, the first thing you want to do before you start making changes is you're going to want to choose your camera profile. I use Sony FX30 S-Log3, and I also use the DJI Pocket 3 D-Log. And don't worry, they have a ton of cameras on there, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to find your profile. When you put Dehancer on the adjustment layer, you're gonna first notice that it's gonna make some changes. It kind of gives it a greenish blue tint, and the grain is really pronounced. I just disable everything and then start from top to bottom and make the changes that I like. When I'm adding overlays like grain or film damage, I like to keep it at 35 millimeters or 70 millimeters. I feel like the 8 millimeter and the 16 millimeter is just a little bit overpowering for my liking, so I dial that down a little bit. Is there anything that I don't like about Dehancer? Not really, but a small dislike, or a small, I won't even call it a dislike, I'll say a small gripe. It does increase your render times when you're exporting. And when I'm editing on the timeline, if I have the adjustment layer showing the changes, it does stutter a little bit, but if I disable the adjustment layer, everything runs smooth. So those are just two small things. I've gotten over it. I've gotten used to it, I'll say. So it's not really a big deal. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. So you guys have seen the footage. You see how I've been using Dehancer over the last 30 days. As I said before, this video is just my honest opinions. I'm not trying to talk you into buying Dehancer. It is a significant investment, but I think it's worth it. If you want to give your videos that film look, or if you want to enhance or learn how to color grade and just make your content pop, you should definitely check it out. And hopefully after seeing the videos and my examples, you got a good idea of what this plugin can do. But if you do want to check it out, I do have a link down in the description. They did give me an affiliate link. You can save 10% and that helps out the channel. Check it out if you want to. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And other than that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.